Hello everyone, this video is about the packet tracer activity 4.2.3.3 from the playlist course Connecting Things from Cisco, and in this video you are going to learn how to make the security configuration uh, on cloud services and the Internet of Things. Okay, so the task is here, or the tasks are here. So first of all, as you can see here, we can notice here that we have routers here, we have switches, so and we are going to deal with security, so you will need to use now your skills you have learned from CCNA level 1 course. However, it's not big deal. I'm going to show you, of course, everything, but you need a knowledge, an access list. All right. So let's see the objectives here. In the objectives, we have to know how to deploy basic security measures for IoT systems with a cloud services. And the objectives here, or in the scenario, we can see here we have an ABC company is developing IoT system for their main warehouse. The objective is to deploy some physical security devices around the warehouse so that, as you can see here, this is the warehouse here. We are going to add some sensors, or already there you can see sensors and motion detection sensors as well. These devices will monitor the doors and windows. When the intruder is detected, then the lights are turned on and web cameras will start recording. Alright, so this is the scenario here. We have a warehouse here. We will make this web camera like recording, and the light will be on when there is a detection and when there is a motion detected in this area here. Okay, the security is an important aspect in addition to the function of the IoT systems and the cloud services. So in this packet tracer activity, we are going to complete the following four steps. Alright, so I'm using again packet tracer version 7.3, and let's see what is in register 1. When in step 1, we are going to register IoT devices to the registration server. Okay, so we first need to add a user to the registration server with the strong password. So here we can do this. We are going to use a PC from the warehouse office under desktop, and then we open a browser, and then we need to enter this URL and then press go. The registration server login should be displayed. Okay, so let's assume that we are going to use this PC here, and then we go to the desktop, and then we need to type www.register, and then here we need to sign up to create our own account with a strong password. Of course, here I'm going to type Sam, and then I'm going to type just admin and admin, just to be easy to remember. Admin, one more time. Okay, so let's go again to this page here, and then let's try to enter admin, and then admin again, then sign in, and here we can see that we managed to enter the web page, and here you can see that we have username and password. I just used admin and admin. You can also here see that you have to use 8 characters. However, I just used admin and admin. Okay, now what we need else, we need to register the IoT devices to the registration server. Okay, so we are going now to go to the motion detector, and then we go to the config, and then we need to specify the server we will register this device. So I'm going to take this one here, which is we already used. Control C, Control V, and then admin and another admin. Okay, there is a problem here because it's not refresh. We should see refresh. Okay, good. It's now refreshed, and now you can see the device is registered in the server. Okay, that's cool. Now we have to repeat the step 1 and 2 to connect the light and the webcam, to register the light, webcam, and the trip sensor. Okay, so let's take the information from here. Control T, and then we go to the light, config, and then here admin, and then another admin. Connect, we should see refresh. Okay, now this is also cool. This is also connected. Since I can see here is a refresh to make sure we can see here we have the two devices here. Alright, so let's continue with the web camera. Config, I have to register it to the server. Control V, admin, and then it's another admin. And then we need the trip sensor. Config, and then we have admin, and then we need another admin for the password. Okay, so I've connected them. Now they are all connected, and to make sure I can see them, the devices are here. Some devices can be controlled, some devices can be only used to monitor the environment. So for example, the light here can be controlled, whereas here, for example, the motion detection is only for if there is a motion, and there is also here the camera. Okay, and here we have a trip sensor. Okay, so now we have done with step 1. We need to step 2, and now we have to add conditions in the registration server. Okay, so in step 2 we can see here that add conditions in the registration server. You will add conditions in the registration server so that when either a motion detector or trip sensor is activated, the directed light and the web camera or webcam are turned on. So log into the registration server. We were there again, and you can see here. Do you see the 4 IoT devices? Yes, I see them here, 4 of them. I just registered them. And then let's add the conditions. We go to the conditions here, and the first condition we are going to add is called light 1. And then here we can see if the MD status is on, and then we set it to true. And in this case, then we set the directed light. Here we have then we set the directed light, and then we have status and then on, and then we add another action which is about the camera. It's on is also true, and then we click OK. You can see the light or this condition is added here. Alright, what about the second condition? We have here light on 2, and this one is TS status. Okay, so let's add another one, and then we set here the TS status is on is true. This is here. Then we set the directed light status to on, and the camera status on is true. Okay, so directed light status to on, and then in the action we add the camera also on true. Okay, so and then we click OK. We have here the second condition we just added. What else? We have light off. There is another condition, and it's about both MD and status on is false and TS status on is false. Alright, so here we need the MD is false, and then we need another one here, which is the TS. If it's on, then we set it to false. Then set directed light to off and the camera to false. Okay, here off, and then we add another action here, the camera on to false. Okay, so this is the third condition we added. Then we need also to test the condition. Hold and like the Alt key and move the mouse over the motion detector. Are directed light and web camera turn on? Let's try to do this. Yes, you can see now they are on. Move the mouse away from a few seconds and then directed light web camera will turn off. Yes, so let's do it again. Here they are on. Move the mouse out of the zone or of the detector and then it's off. So we have done with this part as well. Then we need forward to configure strong authentication to network devices. Here you will configure strong authentication for wireless connection on the warehouse gateway device. So within the warehouse, you can see here, this is the gateway here. Click on the gateway device under the configuration tab, wireless option, use the SSA ID this one and authentication to be this one, and the passphrase is this one, and then we let the encryption like this. Okay, let's do this. We go to the configuration, the display name should be this one, Control C, Control V, sorry, we need to go to the wireless, and here SSID should be Control V this one, and then we need to select this one, authentication, and then the passphrase should be this one, IoT warehouse. .0.0.1. Okay, so here we have the gateway, the name. Here we have selected WPA PS key, and then we have this one here. Alright. Do we need to click OK somewhere? No. So let's close it. Let's do it again to make sure it's okay. Yes. Alright. That's the laptop. Now we need to connect from the laptop to this gateway. So let's go there. And then we go to the config. And then to the wireless 0. And then we need to type the SSID. And the passphrase is this one. Let's see the authentication. The passphrase is this one. And then we select. As you can see now here, the laptop is connected to the gateway. You see these hyphens. It means that there is a signal connected to the gateway. Alright, we also have done with this part. Okay, so let's move forward and now on the warehouse router. This one here. We need to configure a panel to display a warning message for unlawful access. Also, the panel message is not security like measure by itself, but it's like a warning message for any intruder. Okay, so let's try to do this panel. We go here. This is PCNA. Now we type enable and then config terminal, and then we need to copy this part from here. As you can see, banner login with invalid password. Okay, and then we need banner message of the day, and this is the message of the day. Also authorized access only, and authorized access is subject to federal uh, protection. However, this is a message that you can write what you want. Alright, so this is the message of the day, just to remind you in CCNA. And then click enter, and here we have done with this. And then let's type enable to give a password to this router. So enable secret, and the password should be abc warehouse 001, and then we enter, and then we type exit. Okay, now we need to set a local username for the console line and the VTY for like SSH. Okay, so configure terminal one more time. So since we are here, then we need to type username and the password. So the username warehouse admin and the password APC line 001, and then we need line console 0, and then we type local or login local. Okay, and then exit, and then we have line VTY04, and then login local again, and then end. So this is login logo for the using the username and password we just set before in the database inside the router. Alright, now we are going to configure access list to restrict traffic between ABC company IoT devices and the cloud service provider. Okay, so here we have the company, here we have a cloud. For example, now if we talk about the new generation like 5G, this is like can be done through a Docker, or like you can put the servers in one server and put each one in an image in the Docker, but this is a different topic. However, let's follow the tutorial, this one here, but just I wanted to show you that here these servers can be implemented inside a Dockers. Alright, but the concept is here the same. Here you have the company, the servers in the Dockers somewhere else, and you can consider the Docker as a cloud. Alright, so what we need here, we need to create an access list. What is the access list about? On the warehouse router, configure to apply access list number 10 to allow traffic from only the DNS server and the registration server to enter ABC company. Okay, so what we need here, we need to only allow the DNS server, which is this one here, and the registration server, which is this one here, to enter the company here. So what we need to do, we need to assign the access list here, and we need to allow only the IP address of this host and this host. Okay, as you can see here, access list permit the IP address of the server, this one. Let's get it. Okay, so this is the default gateway, and let's go to check that this is the IP address of the server. Here, this is the default gateway, as you can see here. So we need actually to reach the IP address of this server, which is 172.18.1.5, which is this one. And also we need the IP address of this server from here, which is 209.165.21.5, which is this one here. Okay, so let's do this access list. And of course, we need to set it to interface gigabit 02, and then we assign the IP access group 10 to out. So only traffic from this server and this server can enter the warehouse company. Alright, so again, configure terminal, and then we need to access to copy this one. Control C, Control V, another Control C, Control V. And then we need interface gig 02, and then IP access group, then out, and then end. WH admin, and then we have a VC line 001, and then enable, and then we need to enter this password a VC WH 001. Okay, configure, show running configuration. Here we are, and let's see more. Okay, so in the second part here, we need to create another access list, which is 110, to allow traffic only from the ABC company to access the traffic, to allow traffic from the ABC company warehouse IoT devices to access the registration server. So this server here. Okay, so to do this, we need to create a new access list, and now we are going to permit all the devices here. Okay, so since you can see here there is a network address translation here, so this is a private IP. So to allow this, to do this step, as you can see here, the IP to this ABC company can be reached from here, the IP address of Gigabit Ethernet 00 to the router, and then here there is a NAT, and then we can like create another private network. So to do this, we need to know the IP address of Gigabit Ethernet 00. As you can see here, it's the first one, Gigabit Ethernet 00, 209.165, 200, 226. So we are going to permit this IP address as the IP address to all network. As you can see here, we have permit IP address host, the IP address this one, to which host? To this server here. So on this line, we are telling the router that any IP address, it doesn't matter, like this is because of the NAT here, we need the IP address from this port to be accessed to only this server. So IP address 209 to access the host 209.165.200.1.5, which is the IP address of the registration server that we would like to access. Okay, so this is the connection, and what is here after that, it's only in a private network. So this is about the NAT. So the connection actually in the internet is between this port here, the IP address of this port, and the server. Okay, what also we need to say, we need only this traffic. So we need to specify that in the same access list, deny all other traffic to this server. Okay, so allow any traffic from this IP address and deny all other types of traffic to this server. Okay, otherwise we need some traffic to another servers here. So we have to permit any other IP addresses from permit IP any, and then we specify the access list on the port Gigabit Ethernet 00, and then this is the type end. Okay, so let's do this. Enable, and then configure terminal, and then we need to specify the first access list, and then the second one, and then we allow all other types of traffic, and then we specify it to Gigabit Ethernet 00, and then we add access group as out, and then we type end. Okay, so show running configuration again. Here we have the access list we just added. Okay, Here we have a question in the access list 110 why the warehouse router interface IP address selected to the source in the access list 110. Of course, because we have here private network like a NAT network. Here we have private network. We only what the internet or the actually what is obvious or the internet is dealing with is through this IP address here. Alright. Then in the step number 5, we need to configure secure web communications to the web server and the cloud server provider network. The ABC company uses the traffic server in the cloud service provider for part of its operation. Configure the web server in the cloud service provider network to access only HTTPS. Okay, so let's go here and then we go to the services and then in HTTPS only on HTTP we should put the left, put it off, and that's it. Now we allowed only HTTPS. Okay, so in step 6 we need to make the test. Now from the laptop in the warehouse, access registration server, trigger either the motion detection detector or trip sensor and observe the action to be directed light and the web camera. Okay, so let's do this again. You can see now it's working. From PC1 or PC2, open the web browser. Can it access the registration server? Okay, let's do this. So we need this registration server. Then we take this one. Then go to the web browser and try to access this one. And as you can see, we cannot access the registration server from PC1 or PC2 because of the access list we just created. Alright. So for the second, from PC1 or PC2, open the web browser. Can it access the web server via HTTP? Let's try to do this. Actually, the answer should be no because we disabled the HTTP. We only need HTTPS. Let's try now here. Now there is no access. Let's try now HTTPS, then type go, and then we can see now we can access the server using only HTTPS. Alright. Okay, as a reflection, what security like measures are implemented here, we can see that we secure wireless access, we added access control list, and also we put some network device hardening. Like here we set the HTTP off, only HTTPS can be used. And then we have what other security measures should be considered when deploying IoT solution with the cloud computing. So it depends on the actually the company or the requirements of the customers. Okay, that's all for this video. Thank you, and you will be able to download the file or from the description box, and please play around with this task, add some devices, connect them, try to interact with them, so find yourself with it. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.